Alright guys, Justin here with California Grenadiers again. Cool little upgrade. I did go over this in a previous video. I had the prototype here, prototype transfer case shift knob from GrenadierUSA. Billet aluminum forged piece. Very cool. Originally, Brad started with this guy here. This is an unfinished piece. It was just polished. But this was the first iteration, and then he went ahead and made some adjustments after we tested this out. The original fit perfectly, feels nice in the hand. It's got these round edges, but from some customer feedback from you guys, as well as myself, on the front here you can see the high, lock, low lines and the words. I went ahead and told him to maybe make it a little bit smaller. And on this prototype, we didn't have the line over here going from high to low, because on this car you can go from high to low. You don't have to go from high to lock to low. So some people may not know that. Just might be easier to just spell it out. So the new iteration has smaller verbiage, and it has the full square, like the lines going from high to low and from high to lock to low. So kind of delineates that you can go and do both. You don't have to center lock. So other changes, he made the new one a little bit thicker. You probably can't really tell. It's slightly thicker. He made the knurls on the side here match the size of the knurling on this center console control knob. He also made, because the original was round and had the little notches that kind of matched the center control knob, he made the bevels on this top surface match as well. So it looks pretty identical to this center knob. The notches, the top bevel, the side bevel, and on the sides it's like flat. It's maybe slightly different shaped in the body. Probably can't really tell. You guys probably, you guys won't even care or be able to tell, because this one's like super polished. Like, this is a finished product. This was just the prototype to make sure that the mounting system worked without any rattle shakes, failures, anything like that. So it's a very unique mounting system. So I was going to go ahead and show you guys how this works. So let me start with taking this old one off. For the sake of time, I already took this off, a long time ago, because I've been testing this. I didn't want to snap it back on, because then I got to pry it back off. It's not hard by any means, but this mechanism that they came up with is like both ingenious and infuriating at the same time, because they spent so much engineering, time, effort, whatever, on this little plastic knob. The way that it mounts and engages and everything is like, that's super over engineered, but then they threw a plastic knob at it, so that's a little frustrating. So it has these three pieces. So you have the top piece that's the top of the knob. You just pry it open. You can pry in between. You'll feel that groove. You just pry with a pry tool or screwdriver if you don't care if it's going to get damaged, or if you're careful with the screwdriver, and it just pops up. I actually pried it off with my fingernails in my hands. It's not even on there that hard, so I just kind of lodged in all my fingernails and popped it up. And then inside of that, there's this little ball half dome mechanism. It kind of sits in there and locks into place. And then there's some notching inside of here that locks it into place, and then it snaps together, and that keeps it from spinning. And then this bottom piece, it has some notches. If you can see me turning this, that locks it onto it. So imagine if you yanked on that hard enough, you'd probably rip it off, because it's plastic. You shouldn't be yanking on it anyway. So you just twist it and it comes off. It's brilliant in the way that it was made, but it's also way overkill, so I don't know. It's just plastic. So that's kind of an annoying thing about this car. It's supposed to be, you know, super heavy duty, hardcore, yet there's a lot of plastic pieces in here. I know you guys share my frustration. But let's look at how this mechanism works. So this is kind of a three-piece design. You've got the main body of the knob, which is that solid piece of aluminum. And then this one is anodized black. You can get it in anodized black, just polished, bare. I'm sure you could get it in custom colors if you ask Brad. He'd be happy to match like the different colors that he has. But I opted for black because I like black's my favorite color. I've got the black GrenadierUSA center console here, and it matches perfectly. The hard thing was though that the polished also looks good because it matches the knob. See that? That's kind of cool. So it's a hard call between those two, I would say. You know, the polished, and the polished matches with the polished trim. You know, there's a little bits and pieces of polished trim about. But again, I like black, so black is what I got. So you've got the main body of the knob. It's got these set screws in here. There's two set screws. The original one only had one set screw. Just really wanted to make it work. And now it's got two littler set screws that kind of hide easier. It makes it easier to get to them, to cinch them down. And then it's got threading inside that matches to this proprietary piece here, which is the piece that slides over. It's very similar to this bottom piece, the plastic piece, factory piece. So this just slides over and twists into place. And then the third little piece is this little locking mechanism. Like, Brad engineered this thing like crazy too. It's super cool. Like, I don't even know how he figured out how to do this, but he did it. So it has this little locking mechanism. It has like little teeth in it, little tri kind of circle thing, and it latches into place into those cutouts, because these cutouts inside here lock into place on the cutouts on this this shaft. So once you got it all off, it's really easy. I mean, this just slides on, doesn't really matter. This one engages a lot better than the first one. The first one, the tolerance was extremely tight. This one is perfect. Like, it just goes on, you twist it clockwise, locks it into place. You get that little piece there, that drops into place. I had to run down to the store to get some hardware. I think the shipping dude forgot to send me the hardware, but that's okay. We got her done. So I believe it was some M4 screws. I don't remember the length. It's pretty short, but your guys will come with some hardware. I had it on a little washer because the size of the button head screw that I have, that I was able to get at the hardware store, was a little small, and I think it was not going to lock in place the the little shift mechanism. That's the wrong size. So I believe it's a 2.5. Yeah, it's a 2.5 Allen head. And you just tighten that down. You don't have to like ream on it. Just like hand snug. That locks that into place, and this top mechanism locks it from spinning. Then you get your shift knob. That just goes right on top, and that just threads on butter smooth. It's like so beautifully made. And then depending on where it ends up is where you're going to kind of lock it into place, and you want to align the top line, the top square of that verbiage or labeling, so that hold on a second here. Let me just get this in. It's easier by hand. So then you could line it up first. Kind of OCD, so I really want to make sure that it's as straight as possible. 1, 2, that by hand, and then just kind of a little snug, more snug. You don't have to, again, you don't have to ream on this. You don't want to damage the internal piece. Just snug enough. It's not going anywhere. It's just a knob. It's not under a lot of pressure. But I mean, this is way more solid. And you just need to make sure, yep, that engages, works. Look at that. All black matching that and that, same color. The edges are perfect. The cutouts are the same size as the cutouts on this knob. You know, I think he might be able to figure out how to make a black knob here too, an aluminum knob here. That would be killer. I think he's gonna do that. Right, Brad? So, check it out. I mean, go over to GrenadierUSA. I know some of you guys that went out to the Overland Expo West and saw me there and came and saw this. I was able to share the link with you for like pre-order and to kind of gauge interest. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of interest in this because, I mean, plastic versus aluminum. I mean, that's why we went with this guy too, right? The aluminum finish here, one piece, larger cup holders. I mean, just solving simple little problems that, you know, it should have came from the factory like that. But this is a very nice piece, feels much better in hand. I know you guys probably hate me for still having this BMW shifter in here. I really do want to get the Super shifter in here. It has that more squared off look. It matches with the rest of the car. This angled diamond shape doesn't really match with the car, as all of you guys know. But Brad is going to be working on a plug-and-play system where this whole entire center console piece will come included with the entire shifter knob assembly, so you don't have to pry apart the shifter or anything, take it apart in pieces, put it back together. It'll just come as one unit. You just plug in the wires, plug it in. There's just a different shape. This one's square at the bottom, whereas the other one has like a rounded edge, which is the limiting factor here in making it work directly with this. But he's going to offer two options, you know. Needless to say, you can still do it the hard way and still reap the rewards, you know. You just got to take it apart and stuff. But that look of that shifter with this shifter, this transfer case knob, is going to be epic. Already it kind of lends itself like a little flat surface for you to rest your hands. You know, I know a lot of you guys are pilots. It kind of feels like the throttle, I believe, where you go up, down, you know, the different mechanisms and controls in the cockpit. So it's just really making the car look like more of a cockpit than it already was. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, what color you guys are thinking of ordering. If you guys like the rounded look versus the squared off look, I'll try to get you guys a closer look in another video. That this is just kind of an install so that you guys can see how simple this process is. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Go check out GrenadierUSA and get your pre-order in, because you know how these things sell out. He's a one-man kind of shop. He has some guys working for him and stuff, but he puts his hands on everything and makes sure everything is perfect. Doesn't go out without it being perfect. So excellent customer service. Yeah, check them out. Get the pre-orders in. Send them an email if you want a custom color. And let us know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, guys.